the backup status. Big number 11, Tanner Stern. He also plays linebacker defensively, so we know he's a physical guy. Impressive numbers, 7 touchdown passes and 3 rushing touchdowns. And then you contrast him with Britton Johnson. He started all 6 games, and he's also been productive. 8 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. And what's interesting, there's a lot of similarities in skill set with these 2 quarterbacks. They're both juniors, interestingly. They are both experienced at the varsity level, and they're dual threat quarterbacks. So this is going to be fun watching these quarterbacks match up tonight, Larry.
It's going to be a great matchup tonight. The battle for Coeur d'Alene here this evening. It's Lake City taking on Coeur d'Alene. We'll be back with the game's opening kickoff right after this timeout here on SWX. High school football on SWX is presented by Inland Power and Light Company, powering our communities since 1937. So Lake City won the coin toss. They deferred to the second half. They'll kick off. Coeur d'Alene will get the ball to start the game here as we get ready this evening. Had a little bit of rain, but not really very much here. Field should be good. Everything's set. We should be ready to go here.
Conditions are amazing. How about this October weather we've been having? It feels like a September game, not October. And look at the flagpole. On the east end of this field, the field goes from left to right. That is west to east. On the east end, that flag is not even moving. So it is calm tonight. Wind will not be a factor, nor should rain.
Jackson Hackett and Maddox Lindquist back deep to receive. Ready to kick it off is Lake City, and we're underway here this evening in Coeur d'Alene. And on a hop, it'll be taken to the 14-yard line. This is Hackett, and he'll be stopped short of the 30. And Coeur d'Alene will have it at their own 28 here. First down, 10 yards to go. And so now we're going to see Tanner Stern. He's played a lot at quarterback. I'm not sure that he started yet in the ball game at quarterback. He was their running back for a while and their leading rusher. We'll see how he performs as a full-time QB now.
Yeah, and a big-time linebacker. Leads a team in tackles for loss and sacks. Not tackles for second, tackles for loss, and 3.5 in sacks. So he leaves a hole on that defensive side.
There you see the starter, Stern, over 300 yards rushing, plus 7 passing touchdowns. Palmquist, a good running back. And it'll be Palmquist on first down, but there's nothing there for him as that Lake City defense was right there to swallow him up. It'll be second down and long now for Coeur d'Alene.
Up the gut, negative yardage. If you're Lake City, that's off to a great start defensively.
So 2nd down and 10 now for the Vikings. And they're going to empty the backfield here. And in this situation, I think you can watch maybe for a quarterback run here on a 2nd and 10 situation. We'll see. Stern's going to throw it. He decides to run. He's going to get about 4 yards out of that. Nobody open. I think they wanted a double move out there, but good job by the Post Falls defense to deny that double move. The corner stayed right with the wide receiver out there.
3 receivers on the route, 4 defensive backs in the play, and they showed zone, but they went man to man, and all 3 receivers were blanketed.
Yeah, Liam McFarland, the corner on the right sidelines, doing a nice job out there against Hackett, a dangerous receiver. So now 3rd and 7. Stern to Hackett. 1st down at the 40, and that's all the farther it'll get. Good gang tackling by Lake City keeps him from any further yardage, but that's a 10-yard pickup and the first down of the ball game.
That throw right on the money. With that experience, there are no jitters being the starting quarterback. On the money. I really like how Hackett went up there and high-pointed the ball.
Well, you can see Stern is a big young man. They don't give us heights and weights on these players. Now they're an option and a pitch ahead. And this is Palmquist, their leading running back, or Palmgren rather, and he takes it over the 50-yard line and gets another 1st down run all the way down to the Timberwolf 46-yard line.
And you look at his build, I mean, that is a wrecking ball out there. Big number 31.
Yeah, again, they don't give us the heights and the weights, but these are 2 impressive people in the backfield here for Coeur d'Alene. 3-man down front for Lake City here on 1st and 10 at the Timberwolf 46.
Well, how often do you see your quarterback and your running back both go 2 ways and they're both linebackers? Sometimes a running back, rarely do you see it with the quarterback.
Palmquist in motion, and now this is a design quarterback run. Stern doing a nice job to make a man miss in the backfield. That was Damian Brown, the defensive lineman, number 11, who had great penetration in the backfield, but Stern gave him the okey-doke and ends up getting a nice carry here, Mike.
Missed tackle in the backfield, shows some agility there, and then just bulldozed his way right through the A-gap.
2nd down, about 2 here. As you see, Tanner Stern, the junior quarterback. High snap, but he makes a nice one-handed catch and goes deep down the left side looking for Hackett. Just overthrown. Pretty good coverage from Liam McFarland out there, but that was a well-thrown ball. He had to drop it in the bucket, and he was just barely beyond the edge of the bucket there, so to speak.
Hackett got up slowly, got a favor in his right shoulder. He might have fallen awkwardly, but he's lining right back up.
So 3rd and 3 here, and they're going to empty the backfield as they've got Palmgren's going to line up as a wide receiver, the slot receiver, to the bottom of the screen here. So watch a quarterback run here for Stern. Palmgren in motion. They'll give it to him, fly sweep, and that's going to be good enough for a 1st down near the Lake City 35-yard line. So they show a little fly sweep, something they hadn't shown so far in this ball game, and it works for a 1st down.
So typically what you'll see at the high school level is inside the 50, it's typically 4-down territory. Now, Coeur d'Alene's got a kicker with range about 45 yards, so once they get 25, maybe 30-yard line, you're now in field goal range.
That's Palmgren. Not much for him on the inside there. Pretty good job again by the Lake City defense. The run inside has not really been that effective in this drive for Coeur d'Alene. Well, Lake City's been able to defend that. It's the passing game and maybe getting to the outside.
It certainly has.
2nd and long here. Stern keeps and gets to the 30. And that'll be all the farther there. And it's going to set up a 3rd down and about 5 situation here. So we'll see what they elect to do.
You're thinking 4-down territory. It's 3rd and manageable. If you don't get the 1st down, keep it 4th and manageable. I'm thinking 4 down, especially on the opening drive.
We'll be able to tell here, depending on the play call. If you're going to run it, then it's most definitely a 4-down situation. And they throw it. Good job to break one tackle and a first down there. Ian Dolan, the H-back, able to get out there and get down to the 21-yard line again. They get to the outside, Mike, and they get the first down.
And Maddox Lindquist, number 6, the wide receiver, nice edge block, tied up that cornerback, got the edge, got the first down.
In the end, Lee and McFarland make the tackle, but it's a first down now. Coeur d'Alene at the 21 of Lake City. It's been a nice time-consuming drive so far for Lake City, and they're taking more time off the clock here. Stern may be checking off at the line. Keeps it. Good job out there on the defense. Great work that time by Damian Brown, number 11. He held his water in there and got a piece of Stern and held on to him until some help came along.
Textbook how you set the edge. Don't get sucked down the line of scrimmage. You set that edge, you maintain that edge in a solid tackle.
So second down and 10 here. This drive now approaching 6 minutes here in the first quarter of play. Stern to the end zone. Touchdown. Gibson Comstock. He is a big play receiver, and he gets a big play touchdown there. And Coeur d'Alene draws first blood here in this one.
Comstock, 6 touchdown receptions coming in through 6 games, averaging 1 a game. He's at his average. We're still in the first quarter.
So the passing touchdown there puts Coeur d'Alene on top. Now we'll get the point after try from the kicker. This is Frankie Lopez. And now they shift and are in 2-point conversion here. And they direct snap, and Stern, fighting for the end zone, does not get there. So Stern is stopped. Coeur d'Alene is stopped, going for 2. But the Vikings still take a 6-0 lead here with 6:12 remaining here in the first quarter as we look at this touchdown, Mike. Well, we won't see it for the time being, but it was a beautiful pass, and they had to feather it over the top of a linebacker that was in front there. So let's get to our keys to the game here this evening, presented by Northern Quest Resort and Casino. Don't miss the ultimate sports experience at Northern Quest with game day grub at Epic Sports Bar. Northern Quest, yes, the best.
So Lake City, it's like, get going on offense, find that stride. Other than in their one win, that was a 49-0 blowout win against Eisenhower. That was in week 5. Offense has struggled in the 5 losses, averaging just 13 points per game. So they need to find their offensive stride and double that point total in this game. Secondly, Coeur d'Alene, bounce back mentality. They started with 2 losses, then rattled off 3 consecutive wins in a row, outscoring their opponents by an average of 42-10. Last week they couldn't get it done in the fourth quarter against Camas. 7-7 going in the fourth quarter. 2 turnovers, gave up 19 points in the fourth quarter for a tough loss.
Return out over the 20 and getting to the 25 and maybe a couple of more yards after that. I believe Chase Young on the return. And so Young takes it out to about the 27-yard line, and that's where Lake City will have it here. And we've seen Coeur d'Alene march right down the field. Beautiful drive. Now we'll see what Lake City can do with their junior quarterback, Britton Johnson, who has 8 touchdown passes and 1 touchdown run this year.
And my final thought on the keys for Coeur d'Alene, that bounce-back mentality, it was front and center on that opening drive.
And movement up front. This is going to cost Lake City 5 yards in all likelihood, and it happened for more than one guy, so there was some sort of communication there. Maybe the center was a little delayed in the snap, or some guys heard first sound, other guys didn't in the huddle. So at any rate, a loss of 5 on the penalty back to the 22-yard line. So now 1st and 15, and what you don't want, Mike, that first drive is to be behind the chains, and that's where they are right now.
Coeur d'Alene started 1 yard behind the chains, and that didn't
hurt them, I guess.
Did not hurt them whatsoever, Larry.
Here's Van Leuven, and he gets out to about the 30-yard line before he is submarined down. Pretty good tackle out there by Hudson Gray to bring him down. But Van Leuven, he's been running well over the last 3 weeks, picks up a good gain there.
And ran right around his nemesis, big number 31 Palmgren for Coeur d'Alene.
9 yards on the pickup, so that erased the 5-yard deficit +4. So now a manageable 2nd and 6 here. 2 juniors in the backfield as they operate out of the pistol. Van Leuven again hitting the backfield and spun down right near the line of scrimmage. He did a nice job to get back toward the line of scrimmage. Ty Paulin coming through there is able to make the stop, and Paulin has been a wrecking ball on defense this year for Coeur d'Alene. And so now 3rd and long here. He lost a yard back to the 30-yard line. So 3rd and 7 coming up.
Pin back in your own territory. You got to think passing situation here. 4 receivers, 1 running back.
Coeur d'Alene looks like there's 3 on the line, but they're rushing 5. They pick up the blitz. Johnson to the outside, incomplete, overthrown. Looking out there for Jacob Hill, but a little pressure. Had to throw it maybe a little before he wanted to, and the Timberwolves will be forced to punt.
And that was linebacker Palmgren just bull rushing right up the middle and disrupted that throw. That's why it sailed high, because he's right in the quarterback's grill.
Paxton Grant, the tight end, is also the punter. And Lake City has 1 player standing back at his 40-yard line to return this punt, and that is Daniel Shoup. Here's the kick away. Nice kick, end over end downfield at the 35-yard line. A fair catch is taken by Shoup, and now a flag comes in late, and we'll see what this is all about when we return. 4:34 remaining to play here in the first quarter. Coeur d'Alene on top early with a 6-0 lead on a touchdown pass from Stern to his top receiver, Comstock. High school football on SWX is brought to you in part by Findlay, downtown Toyota on 3rd Street. If you're looking to score the best deals on your favorite Toyotas, come to Findlay. And by Top Dog Plumbing and Drain, locally owned and operated. Our pledge is to bring you unmatched service and expertise for your home or business. Don't settle for a good dog. Go for the top dog. So pretty good field position here for Coeur d'Alene. A 15-yard penalty on Lake City after the punt. So instead of Coeur d'Alene taking over at their 35, Mike, they're at midfield here. So they've got a short field to drive.
And I did not catch the penalty, but it's a major. It was a personal foul at some point.
Yeah, some kind of a dead ball, late hit, or personal foul, illegal touching or block on the punt return. And so here come the Viking offense after that nice 70-plus yard drive with their first possession. And let's see if they maybe try a quick strike here. Stern wants to throw. He's going to run it now. And you can see his athleticism in the open field. He's across the 40-yard line and out of bounds, down at about the 38-yard line. And that was a run-pass option, Mike, and good coverage down the field, but Stern is just a tremendous athlete, and he was able to make something out of that play.
If Stern was able, he was looking intermediate. Breaking late was number 6, Lindquist, wide open going towards the corner, but I think by then Stern had already committed to run. Nonetheless, nice pickup for Coeur d'Alene.
Short throw to the sidelines there, and they're going to get a few yards on that before he is run backwards. Gain of about 3 yards there on that play. And it'll be second down now. Catch made by Gibson Comstock. And so it'll be second down here and about 6 yards to go. Pickup of around 4 yards there. New running back is in the backfield. He gets the call and gets blown up. That is Ty Paulin on the carry, and a great job on the defense. I think it was Noah Shore that got in there and knocked him down.
And Larry, you spotted that right away. The A gap with the running game just not working very well for Coeur d'Alene.
It was actually Mackey and Blomer that was there on the stop for Lake City. So a loss there, back to the 37-yard line, so 3rd and long now. Coeur d'Alene was outstanding at converting 3rd downs in their first drive. We'll see what they can do here. Stern fires, man open, incomplete, off the hands of Dahlin. And he might have had a touchdown there if he could have brought that in. That was a beautifully thrown ball just off the hands of Dahlin.
Plenty of time, and the wheel route can just be a killer at any level. A little more loft on that rather than more line driving the ball. You don't have to fit it in like a cover 2 defense. A little off, let him run underneath.
See here how close it was to being a connection there between these two.
4th down.
Just off the hands. So they're going to go for it here. 4th down and long.
This is Coeur d'Alene trusting their defense and offense.
And now I think they were trying to draw them off, and they couldn't do it. And so Coeur d'Alene has to take a timeout. And we'll see now if that changes. Will they bring the punting unit out? Will they stay with the offense here? They were trying to draw them off, make it a 4th and 3. And a nice job by Lake City to stay composed and calm and not move into the neutral zone.
Well, they're thinking go for it because they they burned the timeout here to maintain that 4th and 8 situation rather than take the 5-yard delay of game. So that was by design.
All right, let's see what they will do here on 4th down and long. And let me tell you that if you join the Inland Empire Football Officials Association, it allows you to participate in the community, have flexibility in scheduling your games, receive timely payments, and experience networking and advancement opportunities. Organized training is provided. Your chance to be on the field is a QR code a click away. That's what you see there on the left side of your screen. You can do that at IEFOA.com, and we hope that you'll decide to join our officials on the field. We couldn't do this without officials. You come from a long line of officials, Mike. You did it yourself in basketball for years. Your dad, your brothers, all are football and basketball officials. All right, here we go. 4th down and long. Stern pressured. Fires to the sidelines and has a 1st down catch inside the 25-yard line. That is Shoup.
All kinds of time. The pass blocking has been really good for Coeur d'Alene. And Shoup just sneaking his way out there in the flat.
And here's a run, and this is a touchdown as they get it to Comstock. And there is a marker down, so hold the phone here. This would be a 25-yard touchdown if it holds up.
I'm looking for the area of the marker. Looks like it happened about the official spotting it right around the 5-yard line.
Might have been an illegal block on the run back. Unsportsmanlike conduct is the call on Coeur d'Alene. So it's going to be after the play. The touchdown's going to count, and the yardage will be marked off on the kickoff, it looks like. So Comstock takes it in for the touchdown there, I believe. And that's going to be a 23-yard score, or is it? The officials initially, I thought, said touchdown. The ball spotted at a 3, so I think this is the PAT attempt now.
We do have 12 points now on the scoreboard.
And Coeur d'Alene is going to go for 2 again here, since they missed on the 2-point conversion the first time around. And this time it's just going to be a straight 2-point conversion try. Before they lined up ready to kick and then shifted out of that. And so the penalty will be marked off on the kickoff, which means Coeur d'Alene will be kicking off from their 25 instead of their 40 here. So Lake City should get better field position. Stern will throw for the 2-point conversion, and incomplete. And now a flag down, and we may have a roughing call here on Lake City, as I think, the receiver, I think you're going to have a Lake City called for hitting a defenseless receiver here.
And that's big play Comstock, who's down.
He took a shot right in the gut, I think, which is what they're doing. Let's take a look at it here, Mike. We'll see. Right there.
Yes.
Did not make the play on the ball. He hit the receiver, and the officials have not signaled anything yet that I have seen.
Yeah, that's targeting a defenseless player.
So the pass was incomplete. Here's our referee. He is not mic'd. So illegal procedure. The try is no good, and then a dead ball personal foul on Lake City. And so what that is going to be, so the point after is no good here. So it's 12-0. And then the penalty will be marked off on the kickoff, so we go back to kicking off from the 40 again. And there is Comstock being helped off, and so this might not be a wind knocked out of him injury. This might be something a little more difficult, as you see him getting helped off here, not putting a whole lot of weight on his lower body there.
Yeah, he is limping off. He's a speedster. Another key player for Coeur d'Alene has gone down. They've been hit with the injury bug with some of their really key players.
Yeah, last week against Camas, their quarterback, Caden Simons, out with a collarbone injury. He'll miss the rest of the year. Ben Murray, their leading tackler as a linebacker, went out as well.
That was a leg injury. We don't know the extent.
And so now you're missing Comstock, your biggest of your big play receivers. And so now we've got some questions as to how this is going to be assessed here, these penalties.
Well, they're both live ball penalties, because you've got the illegal procedure against offense and then the 15-yard targeting call on Lake City.
So that
typically those offset.
Yeah, I was going to say those then would be if it's not a dead ball foul on the hitting the defenseless receiver, then those penalties would need to offset, and Coeur d'Alene would try again from the 3-yard line.
Because the ball's still live and it's not dead until a pass ball hits the ground.
I think Byron Hout, the Lake City coach, was talking about that with our officials, and they're over talking to Sean Amos now in the Coeur d'Alene bench to let him know what's going on. And so I think what we're going to get here, well, no, they've taken the ball out from the 3-yard line, so I think it's still going to stand as a dead ball foul and a kickoff from the 40 instead of the kickoff from the 25. So I think the officials are going to go ahead, and that's how they're going to adjudicate this.
The ball had sailed over the receiver's head, but when that contact occurred, the ball hadn't hit the ground yet. So typically you would think that is still a live ball. 2 live ball fouls, one against each team. Offset, replay the 2-point conversion or point after kick, point after touchdown. That's not what we have here, Larry.
Not what we're getting. So Coeur d'Alene now will kick off from the 40-yard line. They were going to have to kick off from the 25 because of the foul on the on the touchdown on the play with Comstock scoring. And so here's the kick. That's just a little pooch kick. Somebody better get on this. If you're Lake City, this is a free ball going to the sidelines, and it goes out of bounds, and Lake City will retain possession. They found a little soft spot in the return, and it was a beautiful kickoff that time. He just floated it right down there, did Frankie Lopez, and a Coeur d'Alene player had first chance to cover that, couldn't do it, and a Lake City player, and I think it was that man right there, Oxenrider, that knocked him out of bounds. So this is going to be a forward pass for the touchdown to Comstock. And just a great job of running after the catch by Comstock there, and great job downfield blocking for Coeur d'Alene. So Lake City down 12. Van Leuven, he had some success on the first drive, and he's going to get about a 6-yard carry up around the 39-yard line here, and it'll bring up second down and about 4. Van Leuven has had some opportunities here and has had some good success early on.
Well, in that big win, that 49 to nothing win at Eisenhower, the rushing yards, team rushing yards, almost 300 yards. That seems to be the key to a win for Lake City.
I think I'd have to keep it on the ground until they stopped him. This time they run inside, and there's not much there for Van Leuven there. He might get a yard to the 40 and bring up a 3rd and 3 situation. I think he's been best when he's been able to get to the tackle or outside the tackle so far in this ballgame. So we'll see what they elect to do here on 3rd and about 3.
We don't have running stats, but I don't believe Lake City has completed a forward pass yet.
No, I think they've only thrown one that I can remember just off the top of my head here.
And that was under pressure.
Yes.
In a 3rd down passing situation.
Coeur d'Alene showing blitz. It's going to be a run, just a design quarterback run. Johnson trying to use his athleticism to get to the outside, and he couldn't do it. Looked like maybe he was going to be able to get to the outside and turn the corner, but Hudson Gray is the guy that brought him down. He's going to be a yard, maybe 2 short of a first down, and we'll see what they do here. But watch this pursuit, Mike.
Oh, this closing speed. Looks like quarterback's going to get the edge, and then, my goodness, great closing ability by number 15, Hudson Gray.
Just a junior. And so 4th and 2 here, or 4th and 1, and it looks like they may go for it. We're counting down near the end of the first quarter of play, inside of a minute remaining here, and they may go ahead and take a timeout. Nope, they're going to go ahead and call a play here. 4th down and a long yard. The game may be up for grabs right here. If they don't make this, they turn it over to Coeur d'Alene in their own end of the field. Nothing there for Van Leuven, but it's kept by Johnson. A great read, and the quarterback, Britton Johnston, takes it for a first down up to the 50-yard line, and that was a fantastic read. If he'd given it to Van Leuven, that play was blown up.
Yeah, and nifty play fake in there. Initially from here, it looked like he was giving it to Van Leuven and faked out the defense. I'd say he faked me out a bit on that, too. Love that ball work.
Well, they get another playoff here before the quarter ends. We're counting down here. And we will not. So we are done with the first quarter here at Van Troxel Field in Coeur d'Alene. It's the Battle of Coeur d'Alene. And in the first quarter, the Vikings of Coeur d'Alene have a 12-0 lead here over Lake City. All right, tonight's coverage of high school football on SWX is brought to you in part by Northern Quest Resort and Casino. Don't miss the ultimate sports experience at Northern Quest with game day grub at Epic Sports Bar. Northern Quest, yes, the best. With Mike Peterson, our SWX crew, there you see the cheering section here for Lake City High School. And it's 12-0 in favor of Coeur d'Alene. Lake City with a big fourth down conversion, though, trying to get right back into this ball game with another touchdown here. And they will have a new running back into the game. No, it is still Braden Van Leuven in their running back. Never mind. With Britton Johnston, the quarterback. Low snap, but Johnston able to handle it and gets it to the outside, incomplete, as he was intending that pass for Preston Beamsdorfer.
Initially, it looked like it was going to get there, but that ball just kind of dived right at the end and right through the wicket.
So 2nd down and 10 now for Lake City at the midfield stripe. A little surprised that they passed there on 1st down with the success they'd had running off tackle there with Van Leuven. Let's see what they do here on this 2nd down play. Bad snap. And that's Van Leuven that'll fall on it back at the 39-yard line. That's a crippling play. That's a loss of 11 yards, and now it puts them, well, they'll put it at the 40, so a loss of 10. It'll be 3rd and 20.
And that's heads up by Van Leuven. He's got that sense. Just cover up the ball. Look at the white shirts right there. If you try to pick that up and you muff it, that could be 6 points the other way.
So 3rd and 20 here. And we'll see what they decide to do. If they could get 12 to 15 yards, they probably would set themselves up for a 4th down opportunity. They've already converted once here on this drive.
I would say definite passing situation here, Larry.
Man in motion with Jacob Hill there. And Johnston wants to throw deep, and he's got a man open, but he couldn't track the ball, and the pass is incomplete. Looking that time for Beamsdorfer.
And there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Typically that's an offensive hold, but we shall see.
A hold or maybe a roughing the passer. It is a hold. And they'll decline that, I'm sure. Yeah. And so it'll be 4th down and 20, and at that, now Lake City's going to have to punt it away. Beamsdorfer was open on that double move there, but they just couldn't quite. He wasn't looking initially for the ball, and then had a hard time finding it. And by the time he did, he was over the wrong shoulder. He couldn't turn back over his right shoulder in time.
Exactly what happened.
Byron Hout, the Lake City coach. Here's the punt. Nice kick. And a fair catch called for and taken back at about the 28-yard line, maybe the 27 here. So Coeur d'Alene will have it. They have scored touchdowns in their first 2 drives, and they have looked really good on offense, Mike, so far in this ballgame.
They've been unstoppable other than when they tried running up the A-gap. Anything other than that, the field's wide open for Coeur d'Alene.
Lake City's got some big guys on the inside there. They haven't been able to get that blocked up front yet, but they've had tremendous success on the outside. We'll see if we see Comstock back in the game. He had to be helped off earlier, and he has both the touchdowns so far for Coeur d'Alene. And they're going to go with a little different formation here again, and a bunch set of receivers to the right side, tight to the line of scrimmage. And breaking free there is Palmgren, the running back, with a nice little run. He takes it over the 30 to about the 34-yard line, so that's going to be a gain of around 6 yards there on 1st down. He just kind of emerged from the pile there.
Yeah, he just got lost in the pack and then just muscled his way out. Somehow he managed his way out. Got a positive little over 5 yards.
Same formation with that bunch set of receivers. These are wide receivers that are tight to the formation there, to the right side of the formation, as Stern looks at it as the quarterback. So they'll roll to the right side, and that might give them the 1st down. Good tackle by Dayton Fletcher
Looks like a yard short, Larry.
And Mitchell on the catch, or check that, it was Dowlin on the catch, and that good play there stops them from getting that first down. Whale of a job there by Lake City. So 3rd down and 1. They're going to try the sneak here. That in Philadelphia would be called the tush push, and they are able to do that across the 40 to the 42 for a first down. They have renamed the quarterback sneak, at least in one part of the country.
Yes, they have. I wonder here in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, if they've got a nickname for that play. Or just
Stern Learn. I don't know. I was trying to think of something that would rhyme with his name. So
it worked.
They got him the yardage for a first down.
Yeah,
How's that?
About 3-4 yards.
And there's another good run for Palmgren.
Well, that quarterback keeper up the middle, that was right through the A gap. Let's come back to the A gap. That's 2 straight plays in a row. Very nice yardage pickup for Coeur d'Alene.
Gain of 7 on that play. Nicely done. And then bringing him down and saving a much bigger gain for Lake City was Cade Flederman. If he doesn't make that tackle, that's he's into the secondary at that point. Keeping it as Stern. And a nice job once again coming out from the outside that time for the Timberwolves. Dylan Mason, the defensive back, able to get in there and bring him down, and that's a nice tackle against a guy that's hard to tackle.
Both teams at the cornerback position, I'm very impressed on both sides how these defensive backs are convergent on the runner.
And Mason from his safety position able to bring him down, so now we'll see whether it's a run or a pass play on 3rd and about 3, and it's off the hands of the receiver and nearly picked off. I think that might have bounced off the hands of Cameron Mitchell out there as it bounced first off the hands of the Coeur d'Alene receiver, and it goes incomplete, so it's 4th down. And let's see this here.
Well, and look at the 2 shirts. Yeah, and I mean, that is, as a receiver, when you see the opposite shirts coming at 2 of them, and the ball is thrown upfield, and it was better off for Coeur d'Alene there anyway that it was a drop, because if he caught it, that would have been a negative yardage play.
Here's Lopez with a punt, spiraling downfield. A fair catch called for and taken at about the 19-yard line here. And we do have an injured player. Do we have a flag? It's a Lake City player that's hurt.
Yeah, no flag. Both Lake City rushers were coming at the same time. They may have collided with each other. Let's see if we can pick that up on replay.
Starting defensive lineman Mackey and Blommer is the guy that's down there. And you see the athletic trainers out working on him here. And again, it looks like they're looking more at the upper body here. You have to wonder with the way they're looking at him here, whether maybe I think you may be right, Mike. Here it is. No, he just got it in the gut. You could see him. He just took a blow to the stomach there, so he lost his wind, and he'll come off under his own power here and be okay.
Also known as the solar plexus, right?
Oh, boy. Those things hurt. I know that's happened to you more than once in your time,
yes,
where you take a blow to the gut and lose your wind.
Yeah. As a receiver, it was a linebacker, defensive back. Boy, if
probably
they
didn't
get
like
you in the
those
wrong...
safeties, did you?
No, or linebackers.
No, that's true. Yeah, those guys especially, I suppose, they're a little bigger. Off a fake, Johnston wants to throw, being pursued, and is finally going to heave it out of bounds. A flag comes down. There's nobody out there, but he was outside the tackle box. But the outside official there, his job is to see whether it's grounding, and then whether there was anybody out there, and then it's up to the other officials closer to see whether he was outside the tackle box.
Although they do have the new high school rule now, just like the college rule, if you're outside the tackle box and get beyond the line of scrimmage, then it's just like the college rule. So where the ball was thrown, because it was out of bounds, unless there's a deviation,
they're calling
the
it ineligible. The lineman downfield is what
that
they're
makes
calling
sense.
it. So a lineman, and that's tough for those linemen too, because they see their quarterback running and they think he's going to run, and then they kind of drift downfield to try to make a block. And so it's an eligible man downfield, and it'll bring up 1st and 15 here.
Yeah, that was a few years ago they put that rule in high school, and I'm glad they did.
Yes.
And there's a perfect example right there. You just can't have your lineman more than a couple yards down the field. And that flag was at the 3-yard mark, right on the 3-yard down the field mark with the spot of the flag.
And now time called by our officials. And it looks like, will we have a delay of game penalty here? We will. So Lake City is hurting themselves with some penalties here. And now they're going to be 1st and 20 at their own 10.
Well, that punt was the right call for Coeur d'Alene. Instead of trying to go for it on 4th down.
They may come out of this with even better field position if they can get a stop here. Van Leuven hit in the backfield, but good strong running, is able to break the first tackle, but he still can't get back to the line of scrimmage. Good rallying by Coeur d'Alene to the football, a loss of a yard back to the 9. And there just hasn't been a lot of room for him between the tackles. And so now 2nd and 21, and they're in kind of a no man's land here because your playbook is really limited in this situation. You get tackled in the end zone, it's a safety if you're going back to pass.
In 2 downs, 3 penalties. You've got ineligible downfield. Then you've got the delay of game. And then you've got negative yardage trying to go up the middle.
So 3 straight plays that have lost them yardage. Johnston has time, but nobody's open. So now he'll keep it. And again, you see the speed of the Coeur d'Alene defense. Not much there. You got 2 yards on the play, and it'll be 3rd down. And Johnston slow in getting up, but he will come on, get up, I should say. Now will he come off the field here? He's going to come off the field.
Johnston definitely felt that tackle.
And so he will have to go out here for a play. Now you just see the great closing speed there.
Oh, yeah, he leaned in with his helmet. His neck kind of got turned back underneath him.
Ian Dolan made the stop there, and so now a new quarterback out here for Lake City on 3rd down and 19. So now what do? Back at your own 11 with a new quarterback in the game. It's going to be Jacob Hill.
That's tough duty. New quarterback coming in cold in this situation.
He was a wide receiver, starting wide receiver, so they move him into quarterback here. And he wants to throw. And has a catch. This is Van Leuven with yardage and more. And now he gets up 3 yards short of a 1st down here. So now Byron Hout has a decision to make here. You're going to go for it on 4th and 3, deep in your own end, trailing by 12, or will you punt it away? They will punt it away. Nice play, though, to get 18 yards back and get a little bit of field position back.
Nice call for a quarterback coming in cold. You roll right, you do a little flood route underneath, and picked up pretty nice yardage. I like the play call.
Grant has had some good punts here for Lake City. There's a high snap, but he'll grab it and boot it away. End over end kick, and that would have gone for a lot of yards, but it just bounced into one of the Lake City players, and that will be Coeur d'Alene ball at the 43, but that Coeur d'Alene may have gotten 10, 15, maybe even a 20-yard break with that ball taking a bounce right into a Lake City defender. Here's that nice play to Van Leuven. Not enough for a 1st down, and we go midway through the 2nd quarter to break with still Coeur d'Alene leading by 12. Welcome back here to Coeur d'Alene, Lake City High School. Coeur d'Alene, the visiting team with the lead here. High school football on SWX is brought to you in part by Titan Truck Equipment. Northwest family-owned. Outfit your truck by visiting them in Spokane Valley, and follow Titan Truck on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And by ServPro of Spokane County. If your home or business is ever damaged by fire, water, or an unexpected incident, trust the pros at ServPro of Spokane County to make like it never even happened happen. So here comes Coeur d'Alene, good field position. Near their own 44 here. There's Tanner Stern, a couple of touchdown passes in this game. Gives him 9 now on the season. He's the full-time QB, and he hands it off there. This is Dahlin. Flags fly, I believe, as he gets over the 45. I think I saw a marker being thrown in. Yep, there it is on the far side of the field. So this is probably going to come back because of a hold. Yep. As you see the signal by our ref.
That flag hit the blocker right in the back with that flag. So I think I know the guilty party.
Unless it was a mistimed toss, then yes, I think you're exactly right. So that's going to be a 10-yard penalty. And Coeur d'Alene will have to play now on a 1st and 20 situation. We saw that didn't work out for Lake City in the last possession. We'll see what happens here for Coeur d'Alene.
And that's a spot foul. So the infraction was 1 or 2 yards behind the line. Tack on 10, that's 11, 12-yard penalty.
So they'll scrimmage from about the 33-yard line, it looks like, and they've got to take it into Lake City territory at the 47 for a first down.
So that resulted in 11 negative yards.
Stern on 1st and long will keep it himself. And he's going to get most of what they just lost in that penalty back and bring up 2nd down about 10 or 11 here. Is he just so you can see why he's their leading rusher, Mike. He's just a very dynamic athlete.
He is. And we talked about if you're a linebacker, you know you have built-in physicality, and that is on display this evening.
So 2nd down and about 10 here as he was able to get most of that yardage back. Not very many huddles by this Coeur d'Alene team. They get to the line of scrimmage and kind of use the line of scrimmage almost as their huddle. Here's Stern to the outside, leaping grab near a first down.
I think, they're giving forward progress on that.
And that will move the chains. Jackson Hackett on the reception. And a good immediate hit there.
Yeah, it's not where he landed. It's where that first contact was. He caught it clean. So at that point, that's where the forward progress is. Right at the stake, about a half a yard past it.
Liam McFarland made the tackle, and Hackett made that play in a way, Mike, because he didn't fight for more yardage after he caught it. He pretty much gave himself up. He knew he had the first down. Here's Stern under pressure. Gets away. Now he's going to run for it. He's in the open field. And Lake City doing a nice job still to close him up. They're showing their speed on defense. And there finally to bring him down was, I think, Cade Flederman.
Reminds me of that Trevor Lawrence run in the NFL game over the weekend. It's like that guy's going down, and all of a sudden he's a magician, finds his way out of the pocket, catches the edge.
Did a nice job to keep his knee off the ground, too, there when he lost his footing. And his plant foot slipped on him. He was able to keep that knee off the ground. So in the end, they get a couple of yards. Had a man open down the seam, and it's tipped and almost intercepted. And that was Dylan Mason who had the chance as it ricocheted off the hands of the receiver who was wide open there.
At any level, you don't want to miss high over the middle, because when that ball's in the air, you usually have other colored shirts in the vicinity. That would have been his first pick of the season.
Daniel Shoup deflected off his hands, and Lake City nearly had the pick. Dylan Mason, the junior. And so now 3rd and 8.
And I was referring to Stern, quarterback, who does not have an interception on the season.
And Lake City's going to take a timeout here to talk things over defensively. 3rd down and 8 at the 44. And we'll see what Lake City's coaches want to do, and we'll see what Coeur d'Alene wants to do here offensively.
Yeah, they took the one timeout in the first quarter to avoid that delay game penalty. This is their second. And we're showing 2 on the scoreboard, but they're down to 1 timeout now. Plenty of time to clock manage.
Yes. And ideally, I think they would like to run this clock down to the end of the half, score a touchdown. They also get the ball to start. No, Lake City will get the ball to start the second half of play. So what they want at least here is to get a first down, to not give Lake City the last possession of the first half as well as the first possession of the second.
Absolutely.
That was something that was always with arena football, with our days with the arena football, they always wanted to manage for that last possession of the first half, get the first possession second. Don't know if it's as big a deal in outdoor football, but still, if you can get 2 consecutive possessions, that's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing at all. In AFL football, they were managing to under 10 seconds. It was crazy rules. That was fun football to watch. Friday Night Lights, equally fun to watch.
So on 3rd and 8, they're going to run it. That means probably 4-down territory here. Doesn't have to be 4-down territory because Dahlin's able to power through and get the first down. Or check that. That was Ty Paulin. Paulin on the run, and he takes it for a first down. That's a back-breaking run on a 3rd and 8. Pick up nice yardage there.
Well, Paulin also plays linebacker, and that's physicality right up the middle. The A-gap, that is starting to the A-gap run is really starting to work for Coeur d'Alene High School.
So now 1st down and 10 at the Timberwolf 34. Stern to throw. Fires deep into double coverage. Incomplete. And that was very close to being a pass interference. I think it was Lindquist that was the intended receiver down there. And Lake City had a couple of defenders back there.
As a receiver, if you want to draw a pass interference, what you need to do, instead of keep running upfield, is stop, turn in towards the defender, high point it, and then it's a lot easier for the ref to see the contact and throw a flag.
So now 2nd and 10. Again, Stern with a little slip there, but he's going on the quarterback draw, get a first down. He's still on his feet, and he takes it down to the 23-yard line for a pickup of 11 yards. So a little designed run there, a little quarterback draw, and it worked well even though he slipped.
We've seen a lot of rushing chunk plays that are 10 yards plus tonight. Untouched up the middle. He is tough to bring down.
And again, they're at the line of scrimmage here, using this basically as the huddle. Stern gets the play from the sidelines and then relays it onto the offensive line. All the receivers and the running back are all looking to the sidelines as well, so they have it off the play call. And here's Stern wanting to throw a little double move under pressure, and he's going to be sacked for the first time in the game. And that was Noah Shore along with Mackey and Blomer to bring him down for the loss back to the 30. A loss of 7 yards, and Coeur d'Alene will use a timeout here. And so they'll talk it over on 2nd down and 17, and the scoreboard now shows 2 timeouts per side. So now Coeur d'Alene will be down to 1 now, because they showed the last timeout being taken by Lake City. As you saw that sack, Blomer doing a nice job.
Good eye there, Larry. I thought it was Coeur d'Alene.
That's what I thought too.
So with 2 timeouts left, because I was thinking with 1 timeout, why would you call it timeout here? But with 2, makes absolute sense, especially after a negative yardage play.
And here they don't have to take a big shot here in this situation. 2nd and 17, if they can get 8 or 9 yards, bring up a 3rd and 7, 8, 9, whatever it might happen to be, and they're in 4-down territory here, or they are now in field goal range, so if they want, they can kick the field goal at the end of the half.
Right on the fringe, so 25-yard line, that is very comfortable field goal range. And you've got some interesting info on the range, how we know the range of this kicker for Coeur d'Alene.
One of their games, he kicked a 40-yard field goal, and Coeur d'Alene got called for a penalty, and so they marked it back 5 yards. Then he kicked it from 45, but they got hit with another penalty, and he was short on the 50-yarder. So we think he's good, probably inside of 50. But he's got the leg maybe to be able to kick that 50. Right now it'd be around a 47-yard kick if they didn't get any yards from where they're currently at. Here's Stern to throw. With time. Nobody open, though. Finally finds a man. inside the 30. This is going to be near first down yardage. It's going to be a little short, it looks like, of a first down. In on the catch there was Jackson Hackett, and it is going to be good for a first down. So the clock stops while the chains move.
And we have not seen number 5 come back in.
Yeah, Comstock has not come back in since he got hurt after that on the 2-point conversion after his second touchdown. Gain of 17 on that play. Here's a handoff. Paulin, and he's going to take it in for a touchdown. Ty Paulin, 13-yard rushing touchdown there, a 13-yard touchdown. And with less than a minute remaining here in the first half, Coeur d'Alene takes an 18-0 lead. And that was well blocked, and I'm not sure he was touched. If he was, it was just by a hand. And Paulin showed a lot of speed. We'll see the replay in that in just a moment or two. They're going to try the kick this time. They're not going to continue to try to chase lost points. And Lopez, a very good place kicker, is able to boot it through. And so now it's a 19-0 ball game here. As there you see the touchdown man, Ty Paulin, and here you see the run, Mike.
And let's see if he got touched whatsoever. Nothing. That's as clean as it gets if you're a running back. You love when the C's part like that.
Yeah, great job by the offensive line to handle that third rushing touchdown for Paulin this season. And so now it's 19-0. Now if you're Lake City, you're going to get the ball here. You're only going to have one timeout in this situation. So barring some kind of a long return, it'll be interesting to see whether Coach Hout tries for a score here, or if he just goes ahead and say, let's go regroup at halftime, fellas, and try to come out in the second half and see what we can do.
Yeah, and getting the ball in the second half, open with the score, try to get some momentum. Going through the air and getting the chunk yardage through the air has just not been here tonight for Lake City.
Coeur d'Alene with this very good defense.
Lopez to kick off.
And with 55 seconds, an incomplete pass,
yep.
A timeout, another incomplete pass, and Coeur d'Alene could get the ball back.
Or if you turn it over somehow here on your end of the field. So we'll see how Coach Hout plays it. Here's the kickoff. And this will be returned only out over the 25-yard line. Maybe about the 27 or so. Chase Young on the return. And he gets to the 25-yard line, and that's where Lake City will have it. 49 seconds remaining here in the half. And we'll see what they elect to do. And is Johnston will come back out at quarterback here. So he left there in that last play of the previous drive. But he's coming out now to play quarterback again. So that's good to see.
Yeah, like I said, it appeared to me like his neck got twisted up a little bit on that tackle. When he went out, he's kind of rolling his neck, but he appears to be fine.
So Coeur d'Alene takes a timeout now. And that's you almost have to wonder whether they maybe didn't have the right personnel on the field, because teams hadn't even gotten lined up yet.
That was a pretty quick turnaround from the return to get back out there on the field.
Yeah, so timeout taken by Coeur d'Alene right away, but they hadn't. Lake City hadn't gone out there and lined up, and there wasn't like an uncovered receiver or something there where they were calling the timeout. So that's why it's interesting timeout taken there by Coeur d'Alene. But it's better to be safe than sorry. You get 3.5. They likely aren't going to be using it, and Sean Amos knows a lot more about football than I do. And he's a tremendous head coach here. He's got a great program at Coeur d'Alene.
He's one of the as we call it, the grandfathers of coaching here in Idaho. I believe the number 28 years in Idaho as a head coach, and 23 of those here at Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah, a little bit at Kellogg to start out his career. His first down for Lake City, a low snap. Johnston will run it. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. And for the main thing here for Lake City is the clock will run. Coeur d'Alene's not going to try to stop the clock here. And one of the guys in on the tackle for Coeur d'Alene was Ryland Peterson.
And Johnston came up a little banged up on that one. He's taking some hits tonight.
He's going to go back. Is he going to go back out of the game?
Oh, he's staying in.
He's still in the game here. But let's see So he's going to stay in at quarterback here.
I think they're just
burning
they're
clock. Down to. I don't know if they have to snap the ball again here. in the first half. They do not, and they will just go ahead and let the half run out. So Coeur d'Alene with a tremendous first half of play. 3 scores in the first half. 2 passes from Tanner Stern to his top wide receiver, Gibson Comstock, and then a rushing touchdown for Ty Paulin. And Coeur d'Alene has a 19-0 lead here at the intermission, as there you see one of the Comstock scoring passes here at Lake City High School. Back with our halftime after we pause for this timeout. Welcome back, Lake City High School here in Coeur d'Alene. Welcome to Halftime on SWX. It's brought to you by Spokane Colleges, an education designed with life in mind. And so this has been all Coeur d'Alene here in the first half, Mike. They scored each of their first 2 times with a football, and they have then they got the touchdown there at the end of the first half, and they have a 3-score lead.
Coeur d'Alene came out ready. We talked about that bounce-back mentality. They've got their heads on from that tough loss last week. 6 minutes consumed on that opening drive. It was just methodical down the field, a combination of passing and running. And Coeur d'Alene is a very balanced team, and we've seen that balance on display tonight. They all that Lake City could muster, 1 first down, had to punt, and another very controlled drive. So the first 2 touches, we have a 12-0 game. What's interesting, Coeur d'Alene did not try point after touchdown. They went for 2 points both times. And then that Palmgren run at the end of the first half, they did go for the PAT. We're standing at 19-0.
All right, so you see a bunch of little guys. They're dreaming of playing on this field in a few years, as the Fitz League out there doing a little halftime exhibition for the fans and getting some kids a chance to play here on this field. Big deal for these young men. All right, when we come back, we'll have more here from halftime with Coeur d'Alene on top 19-0 here at Lake City. Well, let's take another look at tonight's keys to the game, brought to you by Northern Quest Resort and Casino. Don't miss the ultimate sports experience at Northern Quest with game day grub at Epic Sports Bar. Northern Quest, yes, the best. Mike?
Well, find the stride on offense. That's Lake City. And when Lake City is really rolling on offense, it's when they run the football. And they have not been able to establish the run. Therefore, they're not able to get productive passing yardage. So that's something that's got to get cleaned up at halftime if they have a chance to get back in this game. We'll see what they do on the opening drive. For Coeur d'Alene, that bounce-back mentality coming off that very tough loss to a very good Washington Camas team. And they came out in the first two drives. They made a statement. They dominated the time of possession. Touchdown, and they dominated the first half. Their mental toughness is front and center.
Yeah, they were 7-7 last week with Camas, gave up a touchdown, then fumbled twice in a row on their end of the field, and Camas ended up with a 26-7 win in that ball game. We'll have more at halftime after this timeout. Coeur d'Alene with a 19-0 lead here on SWX. High school football on SWX is presented in part by P1FCU. Are you looking for a free checking account? P1FCU's Ascend Checking is free checking that can earn you dividends. Open your account at p1fcu.org. So 19-0 Coeur d'Alene. Mike, Lake City gets the ball to start the second half. They have to have a response. They have to have a good start. They have to put up points here with that first drive.
Optimally, you put up points, and not a lot of range with field goal kicker. And down essentially 3 touchdowns, you're thinking, how do we get in the end zone? Next best case, you at least get points on the board. A short field goal, you're getting points on the board. What can happen is a 3-and-out, give the ball back to Coeur d'Alene. The tide could turn fast if that happens.
All right, at half, it is 19-0 in favor of Coeur d'Alene over Lake City. The Timberwolves will get the ball when we start the second half of play. Our halftime on SWX has been brought to you by Spokane Colleges, an education designed with life in mind. We'll have that second half after this timeout. You're listening to high school football here on SWX. High school football on SWX is presented in part by your local McDonald's restaurants, proud sponsors of the McDonald's Team of the Week, featured every Friday night at 11:15 on Nonstop Local KHQ during SWX Overtime, which will be coming up later on this evening. So Lake City will get the ball here to start the second half of play, and they have put up some extra time for teams to warm up here in the second half. You see Britton Johnson, as we'll see whether he's been roughed up a little bit here in the first half of play. We'll see if he can come out and get something going here for Lake City in the second half of play. Let's look at the upcoming schedules for both of these teams as we're nearing the end of the regular season. So this is the 7th game, so 2 games left. Coeur d'Alene with a big game against Post Falls coming up next week at home. And then they're playing in Ellensburg at Central Washington University against Life Christian Academy, which is located in Western Washington. So kind of a neutral site game there for Coeur d'Alene against Life Christian. And then Lake City, yes, they have Lewiston coming up next week. And then they will play at Post Falls on the 23rd, which is a Thursday night. So that's what's coming up for them. Non-league against Lewiston, and then a league game against Post Falls.
And Coeur d'Alene Vikings, talk common opponents, they played Lewiston third game of the season, 40-7. And that 40-7 victory.
All right, so here's our second half kickoff. And again, it's just that high little pooch kickoff, and somebody had called fair catch, but it wasn't the guy that ended up catching the ball. And so as soon as somebody signals for a fair catch, then the ball is dead. Noah Shore is the guy that caught it, but somebody else waved for the fair catch. And in the end, Lake City gets it at their 33. Pretty good field position.
You don't see that very often, but the officials were right on it. On the whistle, blow the ball dead. Don't let someone take an unnecessary hit.
And the officials moved the ball back another yard to the 32, and so now that's where the Timberwolves will take over. Let's see if they can get something going here offensively with Johnston, the quarterback, and his running back, Van Leuven.
See if they come out throwing the football.
Motion from Levesque. He has not been targeted with a pass yet in this game. Here's Van Leuven bouncing outside where he's had some room in this ball game, and he gets out over the 40 and goes to about the 42, which should be enough for a first down there. When they've been able to get him to the tackle and outside the tackle, he's had some good yardage.
Well, that's coming out with some fire. One rush, more than 10 yards, move the chains. This is exactly what Lake City needs to do.
See if they run the same type of play again here. Nope, they're going to throw it, and that is a high pass, and it was nearly intercepted there off the hands of Jacob Hill. 3 different Vikings were right there, it looked like with opportunities, but nobody could get there in time to make that pick. And it'll be for second down. I'm sorry, Mike.
Oh, I was going to say, even though Hill got one hand on the ball, that just was not a catchable ball.
And so second down and 10 now for the Timberwolves.
Over the middle on a route like that, ideally that ball's got to be somewhere between the belly button and the numbers. You get any higher and that ball pops in the air, you're risking interception.
Van Leuven between right guard and right tackle, it looked like there, and he's going to get about 3 yards, and it'll bring up 3rd and long here. And again, that's not where they've been successful here in this ballgame. It's been tackle and out rather than inside the tackles.
Yeah, a fake off the jet motion, countered back the other way, and not much there.
So a big 3rd down and 7 early here in the third quarter for Lake City. We have not seen Levesque targeted yet. He is their leading receiver. As far as catches and yards go, he's tied for the team lead in touchdowns. Johnson takes the low snap, fires over the middle, has a first down. Well, now maybe not, because again, the receiver didn't give himself up after catching the ball. He tried to fight forward, and this is going to be close as to whether he's got a first down here.
And there's going to be a 15-yard personal foul, a very late hit at the end of that play. So receiver catches it on the dig route. That looked pretty close to first down, but you see this pop right there at the end of the play, and the Coeur d'Alene player is still down.
And that's, again, the defenseless player there.
At the college and NFL level, guess what? You're out of the game.
So it's a personal foul on Lake City.
Lake City.
And let's see whether they got first down yardage there or not. It's also loss of down with this penalty. And the Coeur d'Alene player is still down.
Defenseless player, and that was right to the head area.
And the injured player for Coeur d'Alene looks like it's Maddox Lindquist, which would be another big play receiver. He's one of the guys that, well, he's not a two-way starter, but he's out there on defense, and Lindquist's going to come off under his own power, and, well, not all under his own power. He's a little wobbly, it looks like, and somebody's got his helmet, one of the athletic trainers, so my guess is he's unlikely to come back tonight.
In these rivalry games, that is 2 takeouts of Coeur d'Alene players with late hits. Comstock, and now we've seen again open the second half.
And so a loss of down here on the penalty. Well, I don't know if it's a loss of down, but it was a dead ball foul, and so the down counts, and they did not get the first down. And so this is going to be third down, or is it going to be fourth down? I believe it's going to be third down and about 15 or 16 here. Or is it fourth down? Yeah, fourth down and 16.
Yeah, because that was dead ball at the
Yes.
end of the play. So the down counted and then dead ball.
So Lake City is going to be forced to punt it here.
I'd like to see high school implement a targeting rule like that. In my opinion, a player needs to get ejected for a blatant hit like that. I'd really like to see that rule changed. And I think it would temper some of this stuff.
High snap, but good job to grab that one, and a short kick. It's going to kind of check up now, bounces forward a little bit, and it'll go down near the 30-yard line, and that's where Coeur d'Alene will have it. But the penalty really hurt them there, Mike, because they probably wouldn't have had a first down, but it would have been fourth and short and very makeable in that situation, and you have a chance to continue your drive. Instead, you have the undisciplined penalty, and now you give up the ball, and you're down 3 scores, and Coeur d'Alene has a chance to add to the lead.
Yeah, that mental toughness, it wins games, and part of that mental toughness is maintaining your composure. And lack of composure cost what was looking to be like a promising drive for Lake City, and it just nullified it.
So from the 30-yard line now, here's Coeur d'Alene, first down and 10, looking to, I don't know if you put it on ice with a score here, but you might. And Stern wants to throw on that RPO on a little slant, and it's through the hands of his net receiver Hackett there. Hackett was open, a pretty good pass, maybe come in with a little more mustard on it than anticipated. It'll be second down. Stern has been impressive. Again, Caden Simons, their starting quarterback, and we're going to have an ineligible man downfield here, and they're going to accept that penalty, which I'm a little surprised by because it's only a 5-yard walk-off, so it's first and 15 again. They would have had their option between second and 10 or first and 15, and they'll give Coeur d'Alene first down back.
Yeah, the blocker would have had to just start sprinting down the field to get beyond the line of scrimmage because, to your point, Larry, that was a quick hitter.
Yeah, it was a quick slant there. So maybe one of the offensive linemen thought the play was a running play. They do the mesh, and Stern takes the ball out of the stomach of the running back and runs it himself and gets the 5 yards back that he lost, and so it'll be second down here. Actually gain another yard beyond that. So a gain of 6. But they held on to that situation for a long time with the running back and the quarterback kind of going in tandem together, and finally Stern pulled the ball out of the belly of Palmquist and kept it himself. Good protection and a deep ball, and a man is open, and it is caught inside the 20, down inside the 15, and that's going to be good for a big play and a first down. Jackson Hackett on the reception.
Beautiful throw. Now that's where you've got the arc on the ball and drop it in there and just let the receiver run underneath the ball. Nice spiral. That ball is a good approach in, 50 yards in the air from the pocket to the catch. Beautiful play.
Off that big gainer, here's a run. Off the left side, Palmgren. And a flag is down, and we'll see what this is all about.
We're starting to see some extracurriculars out there, Larry. It happens in these rivalry games. Crosstown rival.
The passing gain on the previous play was better than 50 yards. And we're going to get a hold here on Coeur d'Alene. And so Lake City will accept that penalty. And it'll be walked off from the 13 back to the 23. So it'll be 1st and 20 now for the Vikings.
First quarter was very clean, and then in the second quarter and going into the second half, we have seen a plethora of yellow hankies out there.
There has been no lack of flags here in the third quarter. So 1st and 20 now for the Vikings. And again, they use their huddle right at the line of scrimmage. They don't go into huddles. They stand there all on the line of scrimmage, looking to the bench. Stern on first down, wants to throw. Quickly, a little screen. Inside the 5, driving for the end zone. Did he get there? Yes, touchdown, Vikings, Hackett. For Tanner Stern, his 3rd passing touchdown. For Jackson Hackett, his 1st receiving touchdown of this ball game, and that makes it a 25-0 game here early in the third quarter. And for Hackett, his 1st receiving touchdown this season. Here's Lopez for the PAT. Good job there to get the ball up by the holder, Daniel Shoup there. And so now it's 26-0, or 26-0, yes, as the PAT is booted through. So 26-0 to score. Mike, let's look at the blocking here on this screen.
Great blocking, and then cut back across the grain, all the way across the field, breaks a tackle and lunges into the end zone. That is a ton of yards after catch. As a quarterback, you love that. Just hit a receiver quickly and let him run and get his yaks.
Oxenrider with the tackle there, but just short of bringing him down in the field of play. So there is Jackson Hackett with that touchdown there. 3rd passing touchdown for Tanner Stern in this game. Gets him 10 now in the season. And Coeur d'Alene has a 26-0 lead here with only 3 minutes gone in the second half of play. Just over 3 minutes gone here in the second half.
Lake City got the opening kickoff and had that drive-killing penalty. They had a nice drive going until that big penalty. And you could just feel the excitement and that air and the adrenaline. You could just, like a balloon pops, and all the momentum swung to Coeur d'Alene. Coeur d'Alene answered with a touchdown, fully in command.
So here's Lopez with a kickoff, and he'll kick it deep this time. And this will be returned by Young. He's over the 20. Gets out across the 25, and he'll be stopped well short of the 30. He'll be getting to maybe the 26. We'll see where they put him down. And now Lake City with the ball back again. They need to get something. We said it last time. They needed a response to start that third quarter. They didn't get it because of the penalty. Now we'll see if they can do this time around at their own 25.
Looking at the offensive-defensive matchup for Lake City versus Coeur d'Alene defense, the running game is critical for Lake City, but they have yet to establish the run. So to move the ball, they're going to have to keep going to the air. I just don't see them pounding the ball down the field with the run game. And then at some point, time is going to be a factor.
Yeah, they need some big plays on offense here. Little run blitz shown by Coeur d'Alene. It's picked up. And the pass incomplete behind the intended receiver that time. That is Caden Toney, the intended receiver. This is a very young Lake City team. I mean, Johnston, the quarterback, is a junior. Toney's a junior. Landon Levesque, their top receiver, is a sophomore. Van Leuven, the running back, is a junior. A lot of skilled players will be coming back next year.
Yeah, they will. And you see a lot of those young mistakes where it doesn't feel like the quarterback and receivers are on the same page at times.
So 2nd and 10 here. Johnston again with time, now pressured late, running for his life. Will fire it downfield into coverage, incomplete. Behind his intended receiver, Jacob Hill, caught on a bounce that time by Coeur d'Alene's Daniel Shoup, number 9, and so now it'll be 3rd down and long.
And Johnston, if we get a replay, he scrambled nicely to his left, but when he settled his feet and made the throw, he set himself up for another big hit at the end of that play, which is you develop as a quarterback. You're rolling to your left. You want to instead of setting your legs, you want to throw and keep your momentum going the sideline, because if you set your feet, you can be a sitting duck out there.
So 3rd and long now for the Timberwolves. 4-man rush. Johnston wants to throw deep into double coverage. A jump ball try, and that ball is caught. What a catch. Preston Beamsdorfer. 1st down, the longest play for Lake City in this game, down to the Coeur d'Alene 33.
Into double coverage, and classic drop the ball in, trust your receiver to go up, high point it, and make a fantastic athletic play.
Great catch by Beamsdorfer for the 1st down. Big play.
And there we go, moving the ball in chunks through the air.
42 yards on that play. So now their deepest penetration of the game at the Coeur d'Alene 33. Johnston to the outside, has a catch that's going to be right around the 30-yard line. And then run back from there is the receiver Hill. So they'll give him forward progress, looks like to the 28 for 5 yards.
Yeah, really good forward progress spot by the referees. I always watch that, how well the officiating crew is marking forward progress. This crew tonight has been spot on their forward progress.
So 3rd down, or 2nd down, I should say. I just picked up about 6 yards on that last play. Johnston to throw, again with time, only a 3-man rush, but it's breaking down. Finds Van Leuven in space, gets inside the 20, well, gets to the 25, it looks like. Going to gain a couple of yards. He'll still be a couple short of a 1st down. They'll get him down to the 24. Looks like he'll be a yard short, so it'll be 3rd and 1 coming. And a pretty good job by Van Leuven to get upfield and get what he could there.
Indeed. That's what you got to do. Keep the momentum, move the chains.
They still have almost 19 minutes to play in this game, so they have some time, but they've got to score every time they get the football, and they can't give up any more scores to Coeur d'Alene. Vikings will rush 4 this time, but it's a run. Van Leuven, but again, it's between the tackles, and they just have not had much there, but it's enough to get them the 1st down. They only needed 1, and they got it, and they moved the chains.
And that's situational football. Either you go for the 1st down, if you got to play, you know we'll give 1 or 2 yards, move the chains, or you go with the play action pass, hoping you can go big play. In that case, they just said, let's get the 1st down, move the chains.
They're nearing the red zone. They have the ball at the Coeur d'Alene 23 here.
Field goal is not even in the brain of the Lake City offensive coordinator.
Yeah, he should not be here. That would still leave you 3 scores behind.
It's touchdown or bust.
Van Leuven outside where he's had some room. Van Leuven for 6 points. And Lake City is on the board. Van Leuven, a 23-yard rushing touchdown, puts the Wolves on the board here midway through the 3rd quarter. And again, they got him outside. That's where he's had success in this game.
Well, I said touchdown or bust. Van Leuven busted outside, untouched into the end zone.
Lake City lost their starting running back, Ike Johnson, early in the year. And so Van Leuven, in the 3 weeks previous to this, had rushed for 289 yards and 3 touchdowns. And he is piling up some good yardage again in this game. And he adds another touchdown to his resume. Here's the point after try. And that is booted through. And so here's the nice run by Van Leuven. They got him outside into space. And Van Leuven is able to take off outside on the left side. And Lake City is on the board, trailing now by 19 in the third, by 20 rather, in the third quarter. Well, today's presentation of high school football on SWX is being brought to you in part by Inner Demon Motorsports. They're located in Hayden, Idaho. Inner Demon Sports, powered by Heatercraft, will keep you warm in your UTV or boat year-round. So if you're a late fall hunter or fisher, good thing to have. As we see the picture of the moon. Now watch this. This is a block PAT. It came right up the middle that time. And for Coeur d'Alene,
54.
Yeah, good kick block by Ryland Peterson, one of their interior linemen.
He was right in the grill of the kicker. That kicker, poor kicker, didn't have any chance.
Yeah.
No chance at all.
So the point after, no good, and that makes it a 26-6 game here. But the main thing is, point after good or not good, they still got a little forward momentum here, did Lake City. Now if you can get a defensive stop, get the ball back with some field position before the end of the third quarter, maybe you get a little momentum going forward here.
You took a 4-possession game, turned it into a 3-possession game.
Here's the short kickoff. And this will be returned out over the 35-yard line to about the 37, and so some pretty good field position here. Is that Hackett? Yeah, Hackett on the kickoff return. Takes it up near the 38, I believe, in the end, where they'll spot this. Let's see, and it'll be first down for Coeur d'Alene.
Good to see Hackett be able to take the field again.
And they'll put it at 39.
Or check that. That was, Hackett. It was Maddox Lindquist, number 6, who went out of the game. So we'll see if he comes back in. I do not see him out there.
No, he is not. He did not have his helmet with him. So I'll be very surprised if we see him here in this game. That's 2 key wide receivers hurt in this game for Coeur d'Alene. Stern to throw with a lot of pressure. Is able to get away and get a pass ahead, and here's a nice run by Dahlin. He's going to get about 3 yards on the play, and a great hit here for Post Falls by one of their players who lost his helmet and is going to have to leave the game at least for one play here. And now there he is down on the sidelines, Carter Engelbretson.
And a flag on the 42-yard line, which was in the area of that contact. So wondering if a Coeur d'Alene player headhunted on this one.
It is a holding penalty. And so they'll mark this off, and we'll see if we can see it here on this penalty, on this replay. But just a great job by Stern to stay alive, as he had somebody in on him right away, and there you see the hold right there.
And it was on the tackle that caused the helmet to come off. That was quite the collision.
And so first down and 20 here for Coeur d'Alene. So a big penalty for Lake City here if they can now, they're behind the sticks, if they can keep them there and get a 3 and out. They should get good field position, but here's a big hole for Dahlin. Breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle. A bruising run, he's going to get out, and now they've got the rugby scrum going. Going to give him to the 43-yard line, it looks like, so that's going to be a run of about 13 yards. And bring up second down at about 7 here. Put him at the 44.
7 for the Vikings.
Play kind of reminds me of a Sunday game watching the Eagles play, where those guys they just keep barreling forward, and the linemen come down the field and assist going down the field.
That's something
Physical.
that didn't used to be illegal.
And it's crept into every level of football now.
Allen in motion. And Stern throws it to him in space. Pretty well defended by Lake City, but again, a hard run by Dahlin. He's going to be a yard short of a first down here, but he broke a couple of tackles there and picked up about 5 yards after contact.
And that's difficult to do, catching the ball and immediately tucking and then breaking a tackle.
And we have a cramping issue here. One of the Lake City players is down, cramped up, and you can immediately tell because he's got his leg sticking straight up in the air and somebody's trying to stretch him out here before the athletic trainers get out onto the field.
Yeah, if it's a knee injury, you're not handling the leg that way. So we've been around enough football, Larry.
Yeah.
It's like, that's definitely a cramp.
And it is Dayton Fletcher, a linebacker, who will come off the field under his own power here, but they'll try to get that cramp. Once you cramp, it's very hard to get that thing relieved for the rest of the game. I'm sure they'll give him some pickle juice and a massage and some water and a banana or whatever they're going to give him here to try to get that to go away.
And mustard works too.
Mustard as well. I did not know that.
Yeah,
I've tried the pickle juice before.
Our two sons, they liked the mustard.
Okay.
They said it tasted better than the pickle juice.
Well, that's probably true. Third down and short here. And they're going to throw the little slant, and it's knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Great job.
I think that was Damian Brown, number 11. Right off the edge.
And so the pass deflected. We'll see if we see it here.
And yes, it was Mr. Brown.
And so the pass deflected right at the line. Now it's fourth down. And now what will Coeur d'Alene do here? Because if you're not successful on fourth down and a long yard here, you give Lake City the ball on in-plus territory.
Momentum play right here.
And they will get the first down. And the ball's fumbled. That ball is fumbled. Lake City says they have it. And they do.
2 momentum swings. And a first down for Coeur d'Alene, fighting for the extra yardage. Momentum back to Lake City on the turnover.
So there's Stern on the run. Let's see if we can see who stripped that out. And then who recovered it here.
But no doubt that was a fumble.
Chase Young is the guy that stripped it. And it looks like Caden Oxenrider is the guy that recovered it. So a huge play here for Lake City, still with 4 minutes remaining to play in the third quarter. And a chance to go down by just 2 scores here and get half this deficit back in the third quarter. Johnston to throw. They gave him some time. And a great throw that just couldn't be hung on to, and it's an incomplete pass. That was Landon Levesque, the leading receiver for Post Falls, but he had a man in front of him that jumped and I think probably disrupted his sight line because he just couldn't make the catch there.
That's exactly what happened. As a receiver, you keep your eye on the ball. Don't get distracted by look at the hands in front of you. And let's watch the look. Yep, he was looking up, not down. So he was looking at the hands, not looking at the ball all the way in.
And so the pass incomplete. I think it was Andrew Petrie that was the defensive back there that jumped up in front of it. Here's Johnston running for his life again. Floats it downfield, has a catch. Down to about the 40. That's going to be good for a first down and pick up a 14 yards to Jacob Hill.
And Johnston made the adjustment on that. Notice on this pass, instead of settling his feet, he threw the ball on the run, avoided an unnecessary hit, and also had really nice touch on the ball.
Get a look just exactly what Mike was talking about right here, where he didn't stop and he just squared his shoulders. That was key, though. He squared his shoulders.
Yes, if he set his feet, you could see he was going to take a shot because that gives the defender 2 extra steps at you if you set your feet.
Johnston wanting to throw deep. Nobody's open. keeping the play alive by running to the sidelines. Now he'll keep the ball and he'll get maybe a yard or two on the play, and he'll also stop the clock with 3:11 remaining here in the third quarter.
So here's Lake City's second half formula is momentum plays. Number one, you have to come out, you've got to throw the ball. And they made that adjustment. Because throwing the ball is now also going to open up the running game. So move the ball in chunks, show a different offense to your opponent in the second half. And then the other, you got to get a turnover or two in there if you want to come from behind.
Well, they did get the turnover there with the fumble. Now we'll see if they can get the score off that fumble. No gain on that last play. Officials say that Johnston went out right at the line of scrimmage, which is the 40-yard line. Outside, Van Leuven again. When they get him outside the tackle, he gets some positive yardage. He gets 6 down to the 34.
And you can see how the passing game is opening up the running game.
So 3rd down and 4 is a key play here. And again, we're getting to the point where the clock is getting to be an enemy for Lake City. They need to speed things up a little bit here, perhaps. They can't panic, but they can move a little faster.
Not normal pace, not 2-minute drill pace, but somewhere in between.
Yes.
A little touch of sense of urgency.
Big 3rd down here. High snap. That throws off the timing of the play. And again, they tried to go inside, and there just hasn't been anything there all game long inside. Coeur d'Alene very stout in the interior. Dawson Riley with a tackle.
Negative yardage play, 4th and 5. Yet another momentum play. A stop here by Coeur d'Alene. Momentum back to Coeur d'Alene.
Riley came in from the defensive right side on the outside, untouched.
1st down here. Momentum stays in Lake City's favor.
They've got to make this, one would think, in order to stay in the game here. As we're nearing the end of the 3rd quarter, down 3 scores. Johnston takes another high snap. Throws it down the middle down the sidelines. Pass incomplete, but we're going to get a pass interference penalty here as he was trying to connect with Preston Beamsdorfer. And we're going to get a pass interference here on Coeur d'Alene, and that will give Lake City the 1st down.
And what we watch the receiver turn around and make a play on the ball and let the defensive back run into you. Obvious pass interference. That pass interference is different than what we saw in the first half when the receiver did not turn back towards the ball and they just kept running upfield. So a good no call in the first half, a correct call in the second half.
So 1st down, they're in the red zone now at the Coeur d'Alene 20. They'll split 2 receivers to either side of the field here. Beamsdorfer, he's the guy at the bottom of the screen on the outside. Motion man is Hill. And Hill was getting the target there on the outside, and the ball just hopped in, one hop to him. You wonder whether maybe he drifted too far beyond the numbers and Johnston, when he threw that, expected him maybe not to drift so far to the sidelines. Or
it was such a quick hitter that he may have not had the full grip on the ball. Yeah, it looks like he may not have had the proper grip because it was just catch and turn.
Yeah, you can see Johnston there. He was upset with himself for missing there on that pass.
Points off turnovers, imperative for Lake City.
And again, 3 doesn't really do him any good. Here's another man coming in untouched. And Johnston able to get this away, and this is going to be a 1st down plus some. As once again, it is Jacob Hill on the reception, and that's going to give him a 1st down inside the... Is it inside the 10 here? Right at the 10, it looks like.
Looks like it's 1st and goal.
And a nice job by Johnston to stay alive there. He had some pressure on him right off the top. Again, it was Riley coming in untouched from the defensive left side.
Both quarterbacks have mobility, and Johnston is really coming to life throwing the ball in the second half.
So,
non-factor in the first half, and it's a major factor here in the second half.
1st and goal from the 10. Van Leuven, again, not much there between the tackles, but give some credit there to Coeur d'Alene's linebacker, Ian Dolan. If he doesn't make that tackle, that might have been a touchdown. Gain of a couple.
No question this is 4-down territory.
Oh, absolutely. But again, you've got to get a little more pace here. Clock counting down. You may only get the way as methodical as they've been here. This might be the last play of the third quarter unless they have an incomplete pass here or score.
2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion is 16. Field goal is 3, 19. It's not enough. It's a 3-touchdown game. Any way you dice it and slice it.
It took them about 25 seconds to run this play. Here's the throw back of the end zone, and that's caught. And that's a touchdown. And that is it Salisbury? It is Ryan Salisbury to catch that pass. And we've got us a ball game again, Mike. It's a 26-12 game.
We do, and a late flag after the play. So the touchdown is going to stand. Beautiful throw, beautiful catch.
But now is it going to be a penalty on Lake City after the play? Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike. On who? Lake City. So that's going to cost them field position. Or no, so unsportsmanlike on both teams. So it wasn't just on Lake City. Sportsmanlike on Coeur d'Alene too. So those will offset. They'll still kick off from the 40.
And it's dead ball, so no harm, no foul.
No harm, no foul. Like nothing ever happened there. So 6 seconds remain here in the quarter. And they will try the PAT here to make this a 13-point game. This is big. Because if you miss this PAT, it's still a 14-point. Now, if you can hold them and you get 2 more touchdowns with 2 extra points, you can win the game. And there's a poor snap, and that's going to be another missed point after try for Lake City. So now it's a 26-12 game. But still, forward momentum going here for the Wolves. It's here we look at the touchdown again. A nice throw by Johnson. Feathered it in there perfectly. Britton Johnston to Salisbury, his second touchdown of the season, first of this game.
And as a receiver, I like how he squared. You talk about quarterback squaring shoulders. Receiver also square your shoulders to the ball, and that allows you to get up, high pointed, and take that ball away from the defender. Very well done.
So 2 back-to-back scoring drives for Lake City. And they are back to within 14 points here. They're still going to either have to start kicking PATs or start going for 2. And the danger with that, obviously, is if you don't get it at some point in time, then it's a 3-possession game still and with a 14-point disadvantage. Tonight's coverage of high school football on SWX is being brought to you in part by Northern Quest Resort and Casino. Don't miss the ultimate sports experience at Northern Quest with game day grub at Epic Sports Bar. Northern Quest, yes, the best. So here's the kickoff, and they don't have to be in a situation here where they will have to onside kick or anything here. They kick it deep. And the return from the 16-yard line. This will come out over the 30. And it's Dolan spilled short of the 35-yard line. And so, well, it looks like they'll put him right at the 35. And so Coeur d'Alene will take over there, 1st and 10, at the end of 3 quarters of play. So the 4th quarter will start after this timeout, but some momentum for Lake City as they gave up a touchdown to start the 3rd quarter, but 2 straight touchdowns for the Wolves, and they've cut this lead almost in half as we go to quarter number 4 here on SWX. High school football here on SWX is sponsored in part by Pella Windows, your local windows and door experts to help make life brighter. And by Dr. C Family Dentistry, complete care for every smile at every stage. All right, fourth quarter of play ready to start here. All the momentum, Mike Peterson, is on the Lake City side, and they can continue that if they can get off the field here with a 3 and out.
A tale of two mentalities. Coeur d'Alene, move the chains, burn the clock. Lake City, 3 and out.
And a good run there on first down. That'll be a first down run of its own, as that's Dolan again. Another hard run, a gain of 14.
Yeah, and ball security now. If you're Coeur d'Alene, whether it's a catch or a run, if you got first down, you're in traffic, you go low and you get down. Don't let the ball get stripped.
And Coeur d'Alene, the team playing with some pace here, and it's Stern off the fake going outside for a first down and more. Inside the 40-yard line, down near the 37. Another gain of about 14 yards, and just like that, they've had back-to-back first down plays.
A run up the gut, and then fake that run up the gut. Catch the edge. Let your legs do the work.
In crashed. Quarterback red. Forced out of bounds finally by Letterman. And after two back-to-back runs, what happens here? Another run. Dolan up the middle. Gets hogtied and tossed down as he gets about 3 yards or so on the play.
Ball security for Coeur d'Alene is at a premium right now.
They're going to be tearing at the ball with Lake City, and the thing you have to now guard against if you're Lake City, you spend enough time tearing at the ball, you got to also tackle the man.
Yes, you do. Offensively, any team at any level, ball security is first, extra yardage is secondary.
Bobbled snap there, it looked like. Throw to the outside, Hackett. He's going to be stopped short of a first down, it looks like. And that would bring up a 3rd and 1. I thought I saw a marker flying in, but I'm not seeing one on the field. But the officials are talking it over. And it's ineligible downfield on Coeur d'Alene, so this is going to bring that play back.
We've seen a lot of that on both sides of the ball.
So this is going to cost them 5 yards. So instead of about a 5-yard gain or thereabouts, they'll have a 5-yard loss. And it'll bring up second down, I should say, at about 12 yards or so for a first down here.
Yeah, and Larry, as you so well stated, that's a 10-yard negative.
Yeah.
The 5 you gain and the 5 you're going to lose on the way back from the line of scrimmage.
Let's see if, again, Lake City can make them pay for the penalty. Stern to throw into the seam. Is it picked off? Nearly intercepted there. Reading that play beautifully was Carter Engelbretson. And we'll see him. He jumped that route, Mike.
Well, that wheel route, that was wide open earlier in the game. But once you see that, have that recognition as a DB, you break on the ball. That was just a great sense of that defensive back.
So 3rd and a long 11, a short 12, however you want to look at it here. Stern keeps it, breaks one tackle, still on his feet, still fighting for yardage. There's markers down, so we'll see what the penalty flag is all about here. Stern, with a great run, is able to pick up the first down depending on the penalty.
But flag right at the point of contact. Right there on the edge at the point of contact.
So we'll see what this is all about here.
On the far hash mark, 39-yard line.
Holding on Coeur d'Alene. So another penalty on the Vikings that cost them a first down.
But there's also defensive holding.
Oh, wow.
Offset. We're back to 2nd down and 12.
All right, well.
A lot going on.
Let's have a look at it here, see what we see. There's the hold on the offensive side on number 11 there. That is Damian Brown who is being held.
And there's the hold by the Lake City lineman. Just tackled the offensive lineman to the ground. guess turnabout is fair play. And now I don't know why they offsetting penalties. It should be second down, not third down. I don't understand why we're third down, Larry.
And here's a little screen set up. And that's going to be just short of a first down there. As they got the ball to Daniel Shoup.
Now, we don't have the referee mic'd up. So for it to be third down, it would have to be live ball for a 10-yard penalty offensively, and then so the play's over, and then a 10-yard dead ball hold, which would take it forward.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the only sequence that would explain why the prior play was third down. And we don't have the refs mic'd up, so we're only speculating.
Byron Hout, I think, wanted a fumble there on that play.
Or they're questioning the down. Again, we don't have...
Coeur d'Alene coaches are on the field.
A timeout has not been called.
Now there will be. And it'll be Coeur d'Alene taking the timeout here. They let all the time go off that they could in this situation, down to 8:43, and on fourth down and about 2.5, 3 yards, they're going to take a timeout and talk about it, see what they want to do here.
And why it was by the referee is he wanted to take every second he could off the clock. That's a situational timeout. Burn the clock, see what the defense shows you, and then come back and counter with the play where they can get 4 yards or more. That was great clock management and game management all in one. He's a veteran. That's 28 years of coaching experience and play right there.
All right, folks, this portion of the game is being brought to you by Perfection Tire and Auto Repair. Nobody beats perfection. All right, so 4th and 3 here. Your playbook is pretty much open, I think, at this point, isn't it?
Up the middle, there's been chunk yardage. Edge running, there's been chunk yardage. And certainly that arm of Stearns.
Gets Stern out of the pocket maybe for a run pass.
Yep, RPO.
Option.
Do the old RPO with the wide side of the field to the left.
See what they do here.
And let's see.
Ball game may be hanging in the balance here.
Oh, we've got bunch formation.
They are bunching it up right now with those two fullbacks set to the right of Stern. Kind of a wildcat formation here. Coeur d'Alene only had 10 men on the field.
This looks like a sweep right, a quarterback sweep right.
Well, now they're going to try to draw him offside here. Now Stern comes more under center, but this will be a long ways for a sneak. And now another timeout's going to be taken by Coeur d'Alene. Back-to-back timeouts, and again, good discipline by Lake City defensively to not jump into the neutral zone and give them a freebie.
And that could have been the ploy, is get Lake City to jump.
At the 31-yard line, they're in borderline field goal range here. What you are in a situation, if you're going to punt, you've got to really get it into the coffin corner there in order to gain any kind of yardage on this situation. You boot it into the end zone, Lake City gets into the 20. That's not going to be much different than what they'd get it if you went for it and didn't make it in this situation.
Absolutely.
So they're going to go for it. It's just a matter of what they're going to call and how they're going to do things here. Now, they've taken 2 of their valuable timeouts, so they only have 1 remaining if they need it down the stretch.
Now, in high school, it's legal to call consecutive timeouts. You don't have that at every level.
Right, yes.
That would be a flag at the upper levels.
So same formation with 3 fullbacks set to the right side and Stern the quarterback. It looks like a run to the right. Will they do something different?
What it looks like to me. Now, there's been a lot of checking out, and now a flag is thrown.
And I think Coeur d'Alene is going to be called for movement.
Yeah, because the Lake City coach is pretty fired up over there.
False start. Illegal procedure.
That's a fist pump.
So now 4th and 8. Now you can gain some yardage if you punt. You've got a little more field to work with. It's going to be a little harder to punt it into the end zone here. And let's see what they do. They don't show punt here. 4th down and 7.
Boy, we're still early in the fourth quarter. A lot of cat and mouse going on both sides.
If Lake City can get a stop here, they're going to get good field position with a chance to cut the lead to single digits here. So, ball game in the balance perhaps on 4th and 7. Stern to the outside. Big play. Stern with a great throw, and then some good running after the play there for a first down by Daniel Shoup. But that was just an outstanding throw. We'll see it here.
Absolutely. That was just a dart, nice touch, easy to catch, and nice awareness to stay in bounds as you're getting yards after catch. So the clock winds after they set the chains.
Gain of about 16 yards there, and they're going to be able to take a couple more minutes at least off the clock here. Here's Dolan on a stretch play to the right side. He's going to end up going out of bounds. So they're not going to be able to take as much time off the clock as they would have liked, but he'll gain a couple or 3 yards there.
At this point in the game, the team that is ahead, this being Coeur d'Alene, stay in bounds wherever you can. An extra yard in getting out of bounds is not worth it because you stop the clock.
In the end, no gain on the play. I thought he might have gotten down to about the 17 or 18 yard line, but the officials say nope, put him at the 19.
Just slide and stay in bounds. What's the difference between 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 11 when you can burn another 30, 40 seconds of clock?
Dolan inside. Rumbles inside the 15-yard line and takes it down to about the 13 or thereabouts. That'll be a run of around 6 yards here and set up a 3rd and 4 situation, but they'll continue to work on the clock. They can take it now inside of 7 minutes before taking their next snap. And now they're in very good field goal range, which would up the lead to 17, which would make it a 3-score game.
And Coeur d'Alene is milking clock. They're doing really nice clock management, letting the clock run before they call the play in.
They fake the option. Stern keeps it. First down and more, down to around the 5-yard line. They might put him at the 4. Looks like they will spot it at the 4, and Stern is able to move the chains and sets the Vikings up in a 1st and goal situation. And we have an injured player down inside the 5-yard line. One of the Lake City players is down.
I can't see a number. I see a 5. Is that 85? I don't want to be too quick.
Yep.
That's Dylan Mason, number 85.
He's had a good game at safety. He's going to come off under his own power limping here.
Yeah, kind of working out that left leg. Walking off on his own power, that's always a good sign.
One would think we'll see him again fairly soon. Kind of grabbing like the hamstring. If that's the case, that might not be. We may not see him. That hamstring is a little different than an ankle that you turned, if that's the case.
Or a knee that got tweaked.
So 1st down and goal here with Dolan the running back. Stern has thrown for 3. He has not run for a score yet. Clock is running again here.
Yep, with the injury, clock is stopped because the play was in bounds. When he's off the field, the clock runs. I'm seeing really good clock management by Coeur d'Alene.
Dolan just lowering his shoulder, burrowing forward, and doesn't get much. A yard, maybe 2 on the play.
If you're Coeur d'Alene, of course, you want the touchdown, but you want to burn the clock. So that actually favors Coeur d'Alene at this point because you're burning clock and running, just burning time off the clock.
And again, they're going to take all the time they can here. They'll take it down inside of 6 minutes.
And you're still 2nd down,
yep.
And you've got 3rd down, and you've got a really good kicker. So 3 points would make it a 3-possession game. Right now, it's a 2-possession. So 17.
Stern's going to throw, trying for his 4th touchdown. Does he get it? Yes, he does, but a flag is down. So let's see what this is. We got the touchdown on the throw to Shoup, but let's see if it holds up here. There is a marker down, and it's in kind of in the backfield, not necessarily at the line of scrimmage.
Which typically designates it's going to go against the offense.
Yeah.
Because if you throw the flag towards the offending team, that gives you an indication that's going to be an offensive infraction.
So a 5-yard walk-off. Coeur d'Alene does not get the touchdown, but they'll have a chance maybe to work a little more time off the clock with this.
Yeah, and that's a signal from the side, the communication, the unspoken communication from the side referees to the white hat in the middle. He can look over and go, oh, it's behind the line of scrimmage. I know it's on the offense. Now, if defense lines up in the neutral zone, the referee would drop it right at his feet, knowing it's a line of scrimmage infraction.
Very good. As I said earlier, the officiating runs deep in the Peterson family. Stern again. Well, he actually handed it off there. That was a great fake. I thought he threw the ball to somebody. But a good job by the Lake City defense. They deny the run there. Basically no gain, it looks like. Now they gave him a couple of yards down to the 5, so it'll be 3rd and goal. Dallin there on the run.
Both quarterbacks have done, as juniors, a very impressive job with ball fakes in today's game.
Yes, I would agree with that. Now Coeur d'Alene, will they use their last time out here? A referee talking to the Coeur d'Alene bench there. Down to 5 minutes remaining in this one, with the clock continuing to run. It looks like that's exactly what they're going to do here, is take a timeout, come and talk about it on the sidelines.
This is a clinic in clock management by Coeur d'Alene.
Well, Sean Amos has been around. He's coached a lot of games in his career. And so they're going to talk about it here on 3rd down and goal with the ball at the Lake City 5. And we'll take a timeout and come back with this big 3rd down play coming up. Coeur d'Alene with a 2-touchdown lead here at Lake City. High school football on SWX is presented by Inland Power and Light Company, powering our communities since 1937. And so here we go. Coeur d'Alene, 3rd down and goal now at the Lake City 5.
And you've got the luxury with a really good field goal kicker
and
of keeping the ball on the ground and letting the clock run.
And Stern is not in there right now. They've got Daniel Shoup in there at the quarterback. He hands it off and not going anywhere is the running back Dallin, and so that's going to be 4th down. And let's see if Stern comes back out there again here.
He did.
Yeah.
He came straight off the field. It appears they're going to go for it here on 4th down.
They could put it away with a field goal.
Or see if they can get Lake City to jump.
Yeah.
The thing is, stay in bounds. The clock runs. We're seeing clock management.
And we're going to get another timeout. And so that's got to be Lake City taking the timeout here because Coeur d'Alene doesn't have any left. So, or is there an injured player? Yeah, there's an injured player out there for Lake City. So we didn't see that earlier. All right. Tomorrow here on SWX, tune in for Big Sky Conference football. We've got a big game going on down in the Kibbe Dome. The Idaho Vandals, there you see them. They'll be taking on a surprise team in the Big Sky this year, the Northern Colorado Bears, who should have beaten Colorado State earlier this year. They've got a couple of wins. Ed Lamb is one of the best coaches you'll find anywhere. He's the head coach for Northern Colorado, so they're going to be coming into Moscow trying for an upset win. It's the Vandals and the Bears live tomorrow only here on SWX, your home for local sports.
Is the Big Sky in the past few years, it's always been one of the top conferences in FCS play across the country.
Yeah.
Loaded.
A lot of good teams in the Big Sky year after year after year. Aren't many, if any, easy games. All right, fourth down. Stern keeps it, throws, looking for Shoup, who dives into the end zone. Is he there? Yes. Clinching touchdown for Coeur d'Alene and for Stern, his fourth passing touchdown in this contest, and he seals it for the Vikings right there. And a beautifully designed play. Great job by Coeur d'Alene to take that one in. Stern, 4 passing touchdowns here in this ball game, and that puts it on ice here at 32-12 with 4 minutes remaining. Here's the point after. High snap, good spot by Shoup to put it down, and kick booted through by Lopez. And so it's a 33-12 game with 4 minutes remaining to go in this one. And watch this pass right here, Mike.
On the money, play action, out on the edge, and then diving across, no doubter.
So Shoup gets the receiving touchdown, his first of the season. That's 2 guys who have caught their first touchdown passes this year here tonight, and it's a 33-12 Coeur d'Alene lead. And now you'll give up the underneath routes and things like that. You just don't want to get beat by a big play here, as you see Tanner Stern there just a moment ago.
I tell you, this last drive was so impressive on so many fronts. For Coeur d'Alene, methodically marching the ball down the field, number one. Seeing clock management that you will see in college and NFL games at the high school level. Masterful clock management. And the players are applying themselves, staying in bounds, make the clock run, protect the football, and then put yourself in a position to burn all kinds of time, and on fourth down, convert on a play like that in the end zone.
Excellent job by Coach Amos and his staff. Here's a ground ball kick downfield. This is going to roll back and picked up inside the 10, and not much there on the return. That was a tremendous kickoff. Ground ball back. Chase Young, by the time he could wrangle it, and that's a tough ball to catch when it's bouncing around like that. Now there's a marker down at the 30. We've had a ton of flags here in the second half.
And this flag aside, come back with special teams, do a squib kick, and pin the offense on the 10-yard line. But we'll see what happens at the end of the flag.
Officials talking it over.
And there's flags on both sides. Both sides of the field, far side, near side.
Oh, well, they're going to have a conversation here.
Near side, 30-yard line, far side, 34-yard line. So maybe they're sorting out multiple infractions. We shall see. Here comes the signal by the referee. Do we have?
Here we go. A hold on Lake City.
Holding Lake City.
And then a dead ball personal foul on Coeur d'Alene.
So with the ball on.
So they mark off both fouls, right?
Yeah, so the ball on the 10, you go back to the 5, and then 15-4, because you're half the distance to the goal on the light ball, on the hold. You go to the 5, and then 15 yards forward, so you're going to get the ball in the 20, 1st and 10 for Lake City.
And the officials are doing the math about that right now.
Yes, they are. The nice thing, you got a you've got a stripe there to work with. So the 10 to the 5 and then back out to the 20. So there's the 5-yard walk-off, half the distance to the goal on a 10-yard penalty, but it's half the distance because you're inside the 20. And then here goes your 15 out to the 20 on the near side hash mark.
Spotted just short of the 20.
Yeah, so that was a 14.5 walk-off. Okay, close enough.
Close enough. First down for Lake City here. Britton Johnson, they'd like to score and continue this momentum that they've had offensively that they've picked up here in the second half.
That was funny, Odie.
And he's going to get sacked. Back at about the 15 or 16-yard line. Good pass pressure put on there by Coeur d'Alene, and in there to help take him down was Rylan Peterson. He blocked that extra point earlier.
Double win, negative yardage, and the clock runs if you're the defense.
Second down, about 14 here. Johnson throws, has a catch at about the 20-yard line, trying to get outside, but not able to do so. Is the receiver, that's Hill.
Little gain, third down.
And so very little gain, and so now it's going to be third down and long here.
The way that's set up on the catch, because you had a back flaring out of the backfield, I thought we might see a flea flicker on that one, Larry.
Gained about 4 on that play. Third down and 10 here. And they'll again throw short, and that is broken on and caught, nearly intercepted, but a great job to haul that one in by Landon Levesque, his first catch of the game. Or did he haul it in? No, incomplete pass, so it'll be fourth down. Thought he had the catch there, but he did not according to the officials. So a incomplete pass, and that brings up fourth and basically 10 yards here. And this is it for Lake City. If they can't get this conversion, then they'll take a timeout and talk about it. That's the first timeout that they have used here in the second half.
And you want to save timeouts, but this is game right here.
Yeah, you've got to make the first down.
If you don't convert, essentially this game's going to be in the books for Coeur d'Alene with a win.
They're already behind the 8 ball. Even if you score here, you're going to have an onside kick, get another score, and get another onside kick, and get a third score. So they've got a tall task as it is, but in order to climb a wall, you got to do it one step at a time. So this is the next step, and that's get a first down here.
Yes, and you, Larry, as you so nicely do and eloquently do, that is the formula if you want to get these Hail Mary comeback wins.
Yeah, and this would be indeed a Hail Mary comeback win.
And Coeur d'Alene defensively, let's see defensively what you're going to counter with. The main thing defensively, keep the offense inbound so the clock runs and don't get beat over the top. And there you go. Look at those linebackers.
Yeah, you got a lot of guys way back behind the line of scrimmage. There's a high snap over the head of Johnston. He'll pick it up, run back into the end zone. This play is still alive. Now he'll heave it downfield. Jump ball situation near the first down marker, and it's incomplete. Well, he did a great job to pick that up and then throw it downfield and give his guys a chance maybe to make a play there. And in the end, incomplete, ball turned over.
Athletic play just to avert disaster. If he doesn't corral that or get sacked, that ball could be on the 1 or 2 yard line. That could be a safety. You're going to have to kick the ball back to Coeur d'Alene.
And so now 2:50 remaining, so they're not in a position where they can just kneel down and run out the clock here. So one would assume they will try running some plays.
Run and stay in bounds.
Yeah. Keep it between the tackles. Don't fumble. Ball security, as you were talking about earlier, Mike, paramount here.
You run on the first 2 plays and force Lake City to burn their final 2 timeouts. Then on third down, you can say, okay, you really don't need a touchdown here. I think keep the ball on the ground, keep the clock running.
Palmgren will take it down inside the 15.
And if you get in the end zone by running the ball and staying in bounds and having ball security, it's just bonus.
Yeah. So Priest Palmgren gains about 7 yards there on first down. Be second down and 3, and they'll take some time off the clock here.
And no timeout taken by Lake City.
And so now let's see whether that changes the Coeur d'Alene plan on things. If they can get a first down here, then they can kneel down and run out the clock. Stern, what a game he's had. He's going to throw. And they'll get the first down. They stay in bounds here, so there's going to be first down and goal to go, and that should ice it.
First down, Coeur d'Alene.
And the clock is stopped to move the chains, get things set. The clock should start any moment now. And I think this is respect for both coaches, where Lake City is not calling their timeout, and Coeur d'Alene, you can just run the clock down.
Yeah, I think they're just going to go knees down now. Yep. On that last catch, Brenton Colburn hauled it in.
Yep, they are
and so
essentially victory formation.
Yep. The running back is several yards behind the quarterback there, just in case the ball gets away, so he can cover it.
A kneel on first down, a kneel on second down, and then a kneel on depending on when the ball gets snapped.
It looks like they're going to have to do it 2 more times.
Yep, there's going to be a first down, and then a second down, and a third down, and then the game's over.
Yeah,
in the books for Coeur d'Alene.
Once they'll have to do it, kneel down 1 more time before there's 40 seconds remaining. And then once it hits 40 seconds, they can kneel down at any time after that for the third time. And Coeur d'Alene will be back in the winning column. They'll improve to 4-3, and Lake City will fall to 1-6.
If you snap this right at 39, take a knee, you can walk off the field and
yeah, I'm not sure if they
take
can
your victory.
They may have to snap before 40.
Nope,
they don't.
under.
So, yep, this will be it.
Just take a knee, game's in the books.
And that is that here tonight at Lake City High School in Coeur d'Alene. The Vikings tested some in the second half by Lake City, who scored a couple of touchdowns to make this game interesting. They rallied from a 26-0 deficit. There you see Tanner Stern with an outstanding game here this evening. And let's go ahead and give you our player of the game here this evening. Our player of the game presented by Findlay Toyota on 3rd Street. If you're looking to score the best deals on your favorite Toyotas, come to Findlay. And here he is, Tanner Stern, Mike, 4 passing touchdowns. He's the man now, taking over for Caden Simons as the starting quarterback, and he proved up to the task tonight.
2 touchdowns to Comstock on the first 2 scores of the game. Comstock's out, their top receiver. What does he do? He comes back and he hits Hackett in the 3rd quarter, and then in the 4th quarter, ices it with that touchdown pass to Shoot. Quite the night for that young man.
And that's the touchdown to Shoot, but you also saw Stern's legs there. He picked up a lot of yardage on the ground as the quarterback running the ball. He is their leading ball carrier this season. There is your Findlay Spokane player of the game, number 11, Tanner Stern, the junior quarterback. They lose his services on defense now that he's the full-time quarterback. He led the team in sacks coming into this game. They lose him on defense, but they gain a playmaker on offense out there for every play now.
And keep in mind, first varsity start.
Yes. He's played in each game, but he gets the start, and he takes his team to victory here. And Coeur d'Alene moves to 4-3 with a big game coming up next week against Post Falls. If they win that, they will win the Inland Empire League Championship, and they will clinch their berth into state. Tough loss for Lake City tonight. It's been a season of tough losses for the Timberwolves, but they'll try to recoup next week with a game against Lewiston next week. All right, that's going to do it for our coverage here this evening. We want to thank you for watching. Thanks, as always, to our great SWX crew for their pictures in this ball game. For Mike Peterson, I'm Larry Ware. Tanner Stern, 4 touchdown passes in this one as Coeur d'Alene defeats Lake City 33-12 here on SWX. Good night.